All right. So back in elementary school, I was a little bit of a troublesome kid, and one day in music class, because we had music lessons in my school, because I mean, a great part of our education, I mean, perhaps the greatest part was the fact that we learned how to do music. What? I don't get to build on top of that. That's good. I wanted to build a giant massive tower, but that's okay. I don't need a massive tower for this story. Anyways, so essentially, one day I showed up to music class and I was like, you know what? The teacher is calling on oh, that is connected up there. I should not leave that off. The teacher kept calling on two specific children, right? And that I mean, generally that's fine, right? Like them be calling on specific children over the other children. That's just every other day. However, that day I had a specific problem with it because I had learned that the teacher knew those two children's families outside of school, and they were brothers, right? And like every time somebody raised their hand, and they either of them raised their hand, 80% chance it was one of them, right? And as a big nerd back then, this was a massive problem. I mean, I couldn't allow them stealing my thunder. Answering the question correctly, without me given a chance to answer the correct question correctly first, that's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That shit ain't allowed. So what I did, in all my genius, I went up after school and I was like, hey, and I said this directly. Why do you have favorites? I said this directly to his face, and he basically just like, yeah, he dodged the question, right? And I went home that day after school, and that was that. Supposedly that was that. I went home and I was like, okay. I didn't really get a really clear solution there, but I'm sure I'm gonna go to school the next day. He's gonna notice the false ways, and life's gonna be great. I'm gonna get called on to answer the question, and everybody's gonna be happy. I'm gonna be happy. The teacher's gonna be happy. Everything's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be so great, in fact, that he's only gonna call on me to answer questions. And I have to say, I was foolishly mistaken. Jesus Christ, the music. It's the music that's doing that. Get out of here. No, that's sound volume. Why? Why does it do that? What? It's not. You can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of the dripping sound. Okay. Oh, welcome to dripping sound. Anyways, that's just a map specific thing. I don't know how we can how the map does it specifically, so that I can't get rid of it. But it'll be okay. I'm sure I'm gonna try. Anyways, so I go home that day. A little bit disappointing because the teacher kind of dodged the question. I come back to school next day, and I get called to the principal's office, and I was like, this is probably gonna be great news, right? I'm gonna go to the principal's office. They're gonna congratulate me by saying, oh my god. Well, there was some nepotism going on, You thank you for calling out the corrupt officials within the school system. Here's a $500,000 award. And I mean, as you can imagine, it didn't exactly go over that way. I get called in the principal's office, and then she brings up some evidence. She's like, "Were you saying that the music teacher looked like a homo 6 months ago?" And I was just like, I don't think so. I don't think I said that. And I may have said that. Honestly, I do not remember. I said a lot of things back in those days, and I wouldn't consider myself a professional homophobe, but according for one of the principals, sounds like it. I was spitting out words like every other day. I was like going to homos houses and like harassing them myself. So then she goes over to the music class, and she's like, did he say this? And he was like, yes. And then she came back and you're like, well, the music teacher said you said it, so clearly this is true. You can't be saying those things. And I was just like, okay, I don't even understand what a homosexual is. I'm 10 years old, right? Like this is barely out of like I simply did not understand what I was even saying. Like this is something that was beyond my comprehension at the time. Like maybe I was just trying to be cool. Was it really getting shot by nukes right now? So then she's like, well, we can't be having this. We can't be having this. This is clearly not allowed. And so what she did then, she banned me from music class. She banned an actual child from music class, which is just unreasonable. Like I was getting my education, and then she goes, well, you said some unsavory things about the teacher. Your words hurt his feelings because free speech. What's that? What's that in my education system? A 5-year-old questioning a teacher? don't think so. Well, I was 10 years old. I'm sorry. Okay, maybe a 10-year-old questioning teachers unreasonable. You know, that is a case to be made. So then she banned me from music class, which put me in a little bit of an awkward position, because you know, I was supposed to go to music class, and the whole class goes to music class together, right? Like in elementary school, you have one teacher for the whole year, and then you all go together to the music class, and you have a really great time. You're like, damn, bro. That music class was popping today. We learned 3 new notes. You know, we learned the brown note, how to make people shit themselves. Like, it was just another great, productive day. But then I couldn't go there, and my teacher was just like, well, you know, the rest of the class is what am I supposed to do with you, huh? Hey, like this is unreasonable. I'm supposed to be getting a lunch break right now, and now I have a child here. like what the fuck? This is a scam. It's supposed to be my break time. The one part of the day where I don't have to deal with small children in my job, and then I have to deal with a small child because he got banned from music class or allegedly saying homophobic things. Well, that's just unreasonable. You can't be having that happen. So what happened then is that she said, okay, you can just go to the principal's office. So then every it's like and every other week, like every week we had an art lesson, and then we had a music lesson. So then every week I got sent to the principal's office because I was a great troublesome child, and which was just terrible. And you know what the teacher then after that did? The music teacher, he had the gall to come to my class, right? And said, oh well, I was considering you for this school award, but like after the whole incident, I couldn't consider it. It was just because I saw so much of myself in you, and it was such a shame. And I was just like, well, the challenges were for words I said 8 months ago. How the fuck did it only come to your attentions that I said those words 8 months ago, and then you stop considering it after I accuse you of having favorites? Which, keep in mind, me calling him out for having favorites never came up again. That piece of evidence, everything just happened after I called him out for having favorites, and you know, and it was just a pure coincidence that everybody suddenly had the remembrance that I said those mean things about him 4 months ago, and it was just like I was like, oh, that makes sense, right? Yeah, because like, yeah, if you stop considering it only 4 months later after I had said those words. Yeah, that checks out, Mr. Teacher. This is me developing a extreme distrust of authority, right here, because you know, because clearly the argumentation here makes sense, and it makes perfect sense. So after that, you know, I was in 5th grade then, so I never actually, after that I pretty much never saw the teacher again after he came over and was like, you were a very bad child. I was considering you for a school award. But now that I remembered you said mean things about me, I can no longer consider you for the school award. So after that I graduated 5th grade. It was great. You know, 5th grade was sucked anyways. I was getting not only bullied by the teachers, but also by like other children and stuff. So I graduated 5th grade. I go to middle school, then I go to high school, and then senior year, actually quite recently, you know, I was in a I wasn't actually in chemistry. I was just visiting my old AP chemistry teacher because there was a bunch of elementary school children coming to visit, and you know, they were from my elementary school. And I was like, you know, that's pretty cool. Maybe I can talk to some cool people. It'll be awesome. And I go there, and I don't really get along with the kids there because like it's all like sophomores and juniors there, and I'm a cool senior. I don't associate with those people. I tried talking to them, but it was just it's hard to strike up a conversation with the youth these days, right? Like so then I just start talking with the elementary school teacher, and then the principal comes up, and she's like, oh yeah, did not like her either. And the funniest part is that she said she pissed off the principal in one way or another, because I think she, you know, also had a problem with her. This principal also actually also knew the music teacher in real life. That new music teacher was a new music teacher. There's also the question of, did he get the job because he knew how to teach music, or did he get the job because he knew the principal? But you know, yeah, my elementary school is being corrupt, and never. Anyways, so we were talking about her, and she's like, yep. So what she did to punish teachers she didn't like is she sent them to lower grades, which is just genius. I mean, like, imagine that. In an elementary school, how to punish teachers is to be like, so, you know, you're dealing with small children right now, right? But imagine if you had to deal with even smaller children. That's right. That's right. You're getting sent to second grade class. That's right. You're cooked. You're cooked. These people can barely speak English, and you're required to teach them. Like it's so over. And then we were bonding over because like that principal not only did all that silly stuff, but she also proceeded to ban any sport with any type of physical contact. Like, you know, like how like in soccer, like somebody would like scrape their knee, right? And my teammate just died. And like, you know, this was a problem because like a kid scraping his knee and a kid pushing that other kid over into the cactus. You know, it wasn't great kind of things. And like instead of like responding by like, you know, disciplining the kid, they rather just ban the sport. And everybody was just like, what? What do you mean we can't play soccer? What is that? What is that? Why did people join my team? Get out. So yeah, that principle was a whole load of stuff. People not a big fan. You're gonna miss the shot now. Watch this. Oh no, he actually hit it. Good going, teammate. What? Anyways, yeah, he's distracting me from the story. Anyways, so that whole principle was liked not by the students, not by the teachers. And then I think she moved up. She got like fired like 3 years later, or more accurately, she moved up into like administration or something. And there was a new principal that took over, which was just fine. Like, but like that whole situation of my life, just like my entire life getting uprooted because I called out a teacher for having favorites, and then the teacher got me on trumped up charges. And it was just like, man, is this some sort of Russian school? Did I say Putin had a bad hair day today? Like, I don't understand where I'm going wrong. Like, this just doesn't make sense. I thought we lived in a free American system where it was legal to insult your English or to insult your music teachers. Like, and apparently, I was informed that it was not legal in the slightest. How do we have no res? What are my teammates doing with the resources? What? No, this is temporary. What are you doing? This is a temporary setup here, bro. Hey? Anything else? And I mean, after I got banned from that class and all, it was good times. It was good times because I got to hang out at the principal's office. And keep in mind, I was not a big fan of music lessons. Regardless, I sucked at music. Music was never really my thing. I mean, I could answer all the intellectual questions just fine, but music itself, that's where. Why are we building big doors on EMPs? What? Please, bro. You're spending all my money. Like this is actually like. Keep in mind, each one of these doors costs 300 metal, right? And we don't even have that many doors in front of the cannons, so I would prefer to spend all the money on the cannons, but instead we're spending them on the EMPs. There's another one exposed down there, which I'll get eventually. I'll just, or just go for the core, I guess. That also works. That's also amazing. And he's dead. No more plasma beams coming on my ass. Don't we just have this guy putting plasma beams on my ass, which probably will mean I definitely need big doors for this guy, because that guy, there's no I'm able to shoot without big doors. That is just not something I have the ability to do. Change all this. Yeah, so all in all, the final years of elementary school kind of fire, because I've never heard of anybody else having the gall to call their teacher out for them. But the fact that they came down so hard on me was just pretty exemplar of the system we live in. How it oppresses small children to not have a voice, And I went to my parents, and my parents were like, "Yeah, you were in the right, but it's not worth fighting, right? Like the risk reward factor here is just non-existent." Because I wanted to go all the way. Like if I could, I would have taken this shit to court. I would be like, school's denying me an education because I said a few words, which they can't even prove I said. So this is clearly, undemocratic. Where's the democracy in all this? This shit should be illegal. I probably would have done that. I would have been like, this is against American values. We Americans should rise up against the tyranny of the principal, bring them down. Anyways, Now that there's no concentrator portal of it. Oh, gee, never mind, GG. Actually, there's this space left. I completely forgot that this space existed. Yeah, talk jest indeed. I agree with whatever that means. Hopefully that wasn't racist. And we have something in actual Russian. Or the Cyrillic alphabet. Is that the Cyrillic alphabet? Or shit, I forgot which alphabet is which. Truly a shame. Don't even know the alphabets anymore. Anyways, triple nukes going through. And that is GG. Well, that was a very long game. I was not expecting it to go that long. I hope you enjoyed, though. There was the story along with that. I was Joe Air, and we'll catch you next one. See ya.